You know, every single business, big or small, needs a solid plan for growth. But getting one, it usually feels like you have to pick between two bad options, shelling out a ton of money for consultants or just guessing and hoping for the best. But what if there was a third way? Today, we're going to look at how AI is completely changing the game, offering expert-level strategy whenever you need it. I bet this question really hits home for a lot of you out there. If you're a founder, a solopreneur, or running a small business, you know the feeling. You've got the passion, you've got the amazing product, but trying to map out the next year or even the next 6 months, it can feel absolutely overwhelming. Okay, so let's just talk for a second about the way things have always been done. For decades, if you needed a business strategy, you really only had two doors to choose from. And frankly, neither one was all that great. It was a classic pick your poison kind of deal. The choice has always been tough, right? On one side, you've got the expensive consultants. That means sky-high costs and just so many meetings. On the other side, you try to figure it all out yourself. That's a huge risk, a lot of wasted effort, and just so much uncertainty. One path drains your bank account, and the other one, well, it pretty much drains your sanity. And the frustrations are always the same, aren't they? Endless meetings that could have been an email, waiting weeks or months for a final report, these massive costs. And after all that, you're still not even sure if it's going to work. The bottom line is you're just burning through your two most precious resources, your time and your money. But what if there was a third option? This is where things start to get really exciting. There's a totally new approach bubbling up, one that uses technology to give you a much faster and frankly smarter path to growth. And that brings us to SileIQ.co. So what is it? Think of it like an on-demand AI growth strategist. It's built specifically for the people who need it most. Startups, solopreneurs, small business owners. The whole idea is simple. Get you real, useful answers and get them to you fast. So you might be hearing AI strategist and thinking, oh boy, this sounds complicated. But honestly, the real beauty of this whole thing is just how simple it is. Getting your own custom strategy is basically a straightforward 3-step process. It really is this easy. First, you just fill out a quick form with some basic info about your business. You know, what you do, what your challenges are, what you're trying to achieve. Second, the AI takes over and does all the heavy lifting, analyzing everything you put in. And then finally, you get a complete, comprehensive report. And this isn't some fluffy theoretical document. We're talking clear, actionable next steps you can literally start working on right away. Okay, so that's how it works. But what does it all really mean? What's the actual real-world impact for your business? Let's break down what the new bottom line looks like. It really just boils down to this. This is the promise. No meetings, no waiting, no guesswork. I mean, think about that. All those pain points we just talked about, they're just gone. No more trying to schedule a dozen meetings, no more waiting around for weeks, and no more just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. So here's the payoff. Here's what you walk away with. You get a complete growth strategy, packed with clear, actionable steps. And it's a plan built just for you, using your specific information. The result? You save a massive amount of time and money, and you get the one thing every business owner is desperate for: real answers, fast. So this all leads to a pretty giant question, doesn't it? When you have tools like this becoming more powerful and more accessible, are we actually watching the end of business consulting as we've always known it? It really makes you wonder what other expensive, slow-moving services are next on the list for a total AI reinvention. What do you think?